Good morning. So today is October 30th, and I wanted to take a minute and share with you a little bit of something personal with me. I decided 10 days ago that I would try and do 10 days of the Green Detox Juice Fast. The one that you see on the old Netflix film, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And I'm proud to announce that today, day 10, I have completed. I did it. I lasted a full 10 days on nothing but this green detox juice. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. So I'll tell you the truth here. Day one wasn't a big deal. I think I was so still overfed from previous days that it wasn't a big deal. It was actually kind of a nice break not to go and eat. I still made dinner, for my family. So I didn't stop doing that, at least not right away. Day two was a little bit harder. I actually felt a little bit hungry, but the juice was pretty satisfying and it didn't taste too bad. And by day two, I was starting to kind of get used to the taste and it was okay. Day three was terrible. I'll be honest. Day three was brutal. I had such a massive headache. I was tired. I didn't like anything. I was grumpy. And it was unpleasant. So my body did a lot of purging, but we won't go into that. But anyhow, so day three was pretty rough. And day three, I did not cook for my family. I'm like, you guys are on your own because forget it. I can't do it. And day four was better. I didn't cook for anybody that day either, though, because I still was kind of feeling pretty rough. Not as bad as day three. It was getting better, but it still was a pretty tough day. Day five got better. And I started having some more encouragement going, I can keep doing this. This is getting better. This is getting better. Day six, I kind of was in the groove. And day six, I'm going, it's not so bad. And I'm actually, by day six, I really noticed a lot of different changes in me. I was losing weight. And the heartburn that I had been suffering for a very long time, and no matter what I did, I couldn't really get rid of it. It was going away. From heartburn, I get a cough in my throat. I still had that. But the actual feeling of heartburn and the indigestion and the feeling that I was just this blah, that was gone, actually. For the most part, it was gone. And then, that was day six. So day 7 and 8 were good. I felt pretty good. I didn't make any formal dinners in the house, so I didn't totally have that. It was mostly because I've got teenagers and they kind of went, nah, I'm feeding myself. They're on their own schedules. They're feeding themselves. They're doing their own thing. They both like to cook. So that was fine. And my husband kind of fell into his own routine as well. And they just didn't want me to cook. So I did a little bit here and there, as a mom does. Your kid needs, your kid's feeling whatever. And what can I do for you? Well, could you make me this? Could you make me that? So I did a little of that. And I did some helping with my kids. My youngest one really likes to bake. So we did a little bit of baking, not too bad. And what I kind of shifted in my mindset during that time was notice I started to really pay attention to the smell of food and the way I was thinking about food. And I really enjoyed the smells. And I tried to get myself to have satisfaction in the smell without actually having to eat it. And that actually kind of worked for me. It worked pretty good for me. I think it was day 7. I added a detox tea that had, I can't remember what it's got. It had stinging nettle, and I think it had, I'm blanking in this moment right now, but it has that herb, milk thistle or something like that. That's really good for the liver anyhow, because I know that I have liver issues. Nothing of any documented, Western medical wise, but just myself, I can see it in my skin. Skin reveals a lot of what reveals a lot of liver issues. When you clean your liver, you will clean up your skin. So anyhow, so I started that because I wanted to support my body a little bit more. And I was losing quite a bit of weight, and rather quickly, obviously. So I did that. And that actually really stirred up my system. And I kind of had a day there where I felt really bloated and uncomfortable. My heartburn kind of came back, and my gas burping and that came back. And I had a little bit more bathroom emergencies. So again, I'm not going to go into that. But that all came from the tea. And it took about 24 hours to that to kind of subside, and got a little bit more back to normal. There was one day, I can't remember if it was day 8. I think it was day 8. Oh my gosh, that was such a hard day for me. Not so much because I was hungry or because of the diet or anything really like that. It was kind of a twofold thing. One was the Green Detox drink was beginning to get a little tired of having the exact same thing every single day, right? 8 days of the exact same thing. That was getting a little tiresome. But then the really hard part is I went out with my kids for the day, and, I treated them out to lunch. And while they're eating lunch, I sat there and drank my water. And then we didn't make it back in time for making anything at home. So then we ate out again. And, we just went to, I think, Jugo Juice at that point. And I'm looking at all this stuff going, oh, this smells so good. And they had this roasted, this might not appeal to most, but it certainly does me, who leans towards the vegan diet in general. It had a roasted eggplant arugula pesto sandwich panini. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that looked so good. And it stayed with me. They also, yeah, that was the other one. They had so that was Jugo Juice. And then also they had from a coffee shop out by Infinite Serenity in Langley, they've had a pumpkin spice cookie sandwich, and it was vegan. It was a vegan pumpkin spice cookie sandwich, and both the kids had it, and oh my gosh, it smelled so good. And they were eating this and they were like, oh, it really is good. They kept saying how good it was. So I'm actually pinned that into I'm hoping there'll be one left for me one day when I finally finish all this fasting that I'm doing. Anyhow, so that was a really big challenge that day, just because of the food cravings. And I'm a foodie. Those who know me know that I love food. And it's not just that I like to eat. I've gotten out of hand with the eating, but I actually like the flavors and the creativity and the cooking and the blending of different recipes and things like that. I really enjoy that. Like, I can irritate people sometimes because I want to know what they're eating. It's like, oh, what are you eating? And I just really, it's not that I'm drilling and want to bite or anything else. It's actually just because I'm really interested in food and how it all goes together. I have a little bit of a background in, I took chef's training when I was really, really young. I didn't do anything with it, but I took a little bit of that training, and it's always stuck with me. I actually had the joy when I was very young. I worked up in a huge hotel. And I was just a dishwasher. I wasn't anything special at this hotel, but I got along really, really well with the head chef. Him and I kind of became friends, and he used to call me. So when we had these big banquets, right, he would put me in the position where I was presenting every dish to him. So before any dish went out of the hotel, he inspected it and made sure it met his standards before it was delivered to a table. And I was the lucky person that got to present this food to him. And so when I would present these plates, and he would talk recipes and food with me, and I just, it was my favorite thing to do. I just loved it. That was Chef Bernard at actually the Chateau Whistler. He went later on and he opened up his own restaurant up in Whistler. And I believe he's still in the, I'm not sure what it's even called now because we're going back like almost 30 years. But I believe he still has his restaurant in the Chateau Whistler area up in that complex if anybody wants to go to a very good restaurant. Chef Bernard was his name. Anyhow, so I'm a foodie. So I'm a huge foodie. And I don't remember why I got in that tangent. So I'm just going to leave it there because I don't remember. Anyhow, so I'm going back to my story of having done this fast. And so today I'm on grade 10 and I feel really good. I've lost 11 pounds. I've gotten rid of my heartburn. I have, my skin is starting to change. I'm noticing a little bit of changes in my skin. Mostly I'm noticing, like I've got skin tags and moles and little things, right? And I am noticing that that's clearing up. I did have a flare up in my skin of eczema and some psoriasis, but it was a minor flare and it went away again. And my skin's feeling really good. It's still got a ways to go. So I've actually decided I'm going to continue with another 10 days. I'm going to change it up a little bit and I'm going to add some more flavors. I'm going to make some different juices and sort of take it slow and reintroduce my body to different vegetables. So the original green drink that I did, the official Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead Green Detox drink is so Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. I don't know if I mentioned that's a documentary that you can watch on Netflix, and it's about this gentleman that was in a health crisis, and he's from Australia, and he went on a whole journey, 60-day fast, and he lost all this weight and turned his health around, and then he actually helped somebody else do the same thing, and it documents both these two men that they went through, and that's what I watched, and that's what inspired me to do this, because well, to be honest with you, I kind of felt fat, sick, and on my way to dead. So I decided to do it. And that's why I did the 10 days. So the official drink is like a lot of kale. It's kale, cucumber, lemon, ginger, and a Granny Smith apple and celery. So it doesn't sound great, but it actually isn't that bad. It's pretty good. You get used to it and it's pretty good. I mean, it ain't something I'm running out to get, but it did feel pretty good. And so actually, I'm going to continue. I'm going to aim for another 2 days. My big challenge is tomorrow night, because tomorrow night, as we know, is Halloween, and I happen to be a chocolate addict. So I am going to go out with my kids, hopefully later today. I got a busy day, but hopefully later today, I'm going to take them in and to the health food store, and they're going to get a sampling of our organic and vegan candies, because that's what they wanted to try. And so they're going to get a feast of that. And yep, I plan on hanging out with them and I plan on joining them and the whole bit. Again, they're teenagers. So we're going to go play with them tonight. And because, and they're going to they're going to have a bag of candy. So that's what I plan on doing. Anyhow, and so that's going to be a bit of a challenge for me. My plan of attack on that one is I'm just going to make myself a really yummy juice. I'm gonna have maybe, I don't know, pineapples and coconuts in it or something, right? But anyhow, so that'll be a challenge. But aside from that, I'm gonna try for another 10 days. So if anybody's interested and wants to know more about it, I'd be happy to chat about it. Go ahead and contact me. And otherwise, I just really wanted to share my journey, because this is quite an accomplishment. At least I think it is. I felt like it was. Yeah. Anyhow, love you all. I'm going to sign off. Just wanted to share. Bye-bye.